I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Having a conversation with a old friend, wise, beautiful, brilliant woman last week, and she said something that's been rattling around in my brain ever since. I just can't let it go. And I wanted to share it with you because it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I thought, this is a clear and succinct way to say what goes wrong, how the energy balance gets off in relationships with high achievers. And what she said to me was, relationships need to bring equal or greater value. Now, this is going to be most likely a two-time listener for you because this is a lot. We are going deep. As I said, this has been rattling around in my brain for over a week. So let's talk about this unsaid truth. The person that you are in a relationship with should bring equal or greater value. And this is not true for superwomen. And I should say super people because I'm working with more and more high achieving men with the same issues where we are the overgiver, we are the earner, we have higher capacity than our under-functioning partners. And it leads to resentment, disconnection, and health issues. So let's unpack this. Logically, when we are thinking with our superwoman brain, we start dating them when we're younger, or we start dating them and thinking about what it looks like on paper. A lot of us in our relationships, we have histories together. We have kids together. Many of us, overgiving, people-pleasing, hypervigilant people, we're romantic. We are good at tolerating, at sticking it out, at when things get tough, we try harder. We are the overachiever, the overgiver in relationship. We also really care about other people's opinions. We let other people affect us. We don't like to fail. We want to get it right. So even thinking about or entertaining leaving is not an option for many of us. Many of us will stick it out until we're almost dead. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm laughing because I'm laughing at myself. Anyways, and there are a lot of valid reasons to stay, but stay and heal, be happy. And sometimes it truly is not possible. And please don't think you're going to get the answer of exactly whether to stay or go, but I'm going to help you understand why and help you feel a little seen and a little more heard. I want you to think about this. Look at relationships as a partnership. Each person plays a role, and there are things that need to get done in partnership. There are tasks, there is duties, there's the invisible workload, money needs to be made, there's things that you will want to do together individually, and things really start to go wrong when one person overshares the load, when there is an overfunctioner and somebody is significantly underfunctioning. And I low-key want to start a matchmaking service with some of my male clients and my female clients that have done the steps that I'm going to talk to you about, done the healing work, and what would happen if we put two givers together? Two people that had the capacity to give and challenge and push each other, and it was equal or greater value? Let's talk about the cost. So, what is it costing us to have this relationship dynamic where equal value is not being provided? Somebody is doing the majority of the things. And oftentimes with women, it is they're earning, they're supporting an under earning or a partner that's not even working, and they're doing all the household tasks as well. And it's like, I'm asking my clients, like, what is your partner bringing to the table? And then we get into story and beliefs, and there's history, and these are all valid things. And oftentimes there's even elements of abuse, toxicity. We don't like to use the word abuse, but when there is manipulation and gaslighting and somebody is continually not stepping up, there is a cost to it. It is literally making you sick. It's killing you over time. Talk about this all the time. Loneliness is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So if you are in a partnership and you feel alone, you are not seen, you are not heard, you're not supported, you don't have a teammate, you don't have somebody providing equal or greater value, it's like you're smoking 15 cigarettes a day because overfunctioning, people pleasing, self sacrificing, it's a way that keeps us hyper vigilant. It's a way that keeps us on edge. It comes from fear. It gets us working harder to fix it. Now, living with this level of nervous system dysregulation by being the overfunctioner, the cortisol dysfunction, the pleasure centers in our brain are off. Many of us have anxiety, depression. We're not meant to live in fight or flight. And this is the majority, like this is the body of my work. I wrote the Pink Canary about this, about that part, about the cellular physiology and the impact of not having pleasure in our lives. So short term, we see feminine burnout, the weight that we can't get off, the sleep issues, the night sweats, the anxiety, the moodiness, the snippiness, the short term memory problems, difficulty concentrating, adult acne, hair falling out, fertility issues. We use numbing behaviors to cope, which is going to worsen our long term health outcomes. Long-term elevated cortisol, it weakens our immune system. We're more vulnerable to chronic disease. We have chronic inflammation, which leads to a whole host of other chronic health outcomes: less bone density, muscle weakness, greater risk of stroke, heart attack, metabolic syndrome, chronic fatigue, all from high levels of cortisol. So we've established the hard truth of being in a relationship where your partner is not providing equal or greater value. It will affect your health, your happiness. And then what do? We go to therapy. And what happens when we're in therapy? The overfunctioner that has been trying harder beyond, they look like the dysregulated one. They look like the one with the anxiety and high expectations and the problem. And the person that is really the problem, which is the underfunctioner, the person that is gaslighting, manipulating, not pulling their weight, they it's the continued dynamic for therapy and 95% of the time, because the overfunctioner is going to get blamed. They're going to try harder. The underfunctioner will do what they do, underfunction. And I'm going to give you some solutions, a framework of how I approach fixing this, because I am here for healing what needs to be healed by focusing on ourselves and doing our work. And I'm going to give you a framework and some questions to ask, a place to start, because when we do that, it is possible to change the dynamic, but that is if the underfunctioner is willing to step up. They have to provide greater value. If it is a lopsided situation where one person is doing the majority of the things, it won't work. It's going to make you sick. It's going to cost you health and happiness. But a fascinating thing happens when we work through the frameworks of filling our pleasure tanks. I hope you can't hear that, the dinging. I need to find out if you can hear it. My mom's group chat is blowing up. We are deciding splash pad or hike this afternoon. I'm personally voting hike because there's a brewery across the street. See, equal value. Something for the kids to do that is going to be, they're going to be in nature, fun, exercise, and after, something for the moms. Energetically reciprocal, filling each other's tanks. This is like a nice thing. When you're having the same fight over and over for years, or you're asking your partner to step up in the same way over and over, and they refuse, if one person is carrying 80% of the load, will make you sick. I want to read you something. We had the best time last weekend, and I'm appreciating the good feelings of peace between us. We had our best quarter ever in our business, and our revenue just hit another all-time high. So many things to sit back and bask in. And this is what I'm helping husband do. Still got lots of work to do on the sexual intimacy, but that is coming along too. I edited a bit for names and things, but this is a client of mine in the mentorship working on plugging the holes in her tank, and her partner is responding, and they've got a good partnership. They run a big business. There's value there, and he is stepping up. And it is amazing. It is amazing what happens when we do our inner work, how people respond to us. So I cannot tell you, should you stay? Should you go? I don't have those answers. Those are complicated. And oftentimes, when there is these dynamics, the toxic relationships, the subtle abuse, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the underfunctioning, like when you pull a manipulator, a gaslighter off the teat of a high achiever who has just been like fire hose giving to them for years, and you pull it off the teat, you better watch out, because sometime, like that's when we get into these high conflict separations. Anyways, been through it, seen it all, and our best shot, at this. Well, and you know what doesn't work. You've tried therapy. The underfunctioner still underfunctions. Overfunctioners can even be harmed by therapy. You've thought of opening your relationship. I see some people, some women with feminine burnout, they're like, we just opened our relationship because I was too burned out to even care. And when that's a detachment thing and it's not what you really want, like what you really want is to desire your partner, that's a problem. We know cheating. People cheat to try and rebalance the energy in their relationship. And you can listen to episode 140 the last episode that I just recorded, that talks a little bit more about those energies. We could, yeah, the open relationships, the red and green dragon. It's like, okay, if I'm not getting it here, then maybe I'm going to go and try and get it somewhere else and balance things. And I recorded you a whole episode on that, episode 136. So those are the solutions that most of you have tried, and it hasn't gotten you the result that you want. If this is you, you've tried all the things. I just started working with a new client, and she said, like, I'm cognitively, emotionally, physically, she's like, I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. Everything that you're saying resonates, and I've exhausted all possibilities with all my resources to try and fix this. I need a new way. Please help. if I'm describing you and you've exhausted your resources, you've exhausted yourself, and you know there's another way, you just don't know what it is. The mentorship summer sale. We only have 3 spots left at the time that I'm recording this. I'm so excited about it. Everyone who started already is beyond excited. We start private coaching right away. You have $10,000 of elite bonuses that you are only going to get access to by applying. You get to do the mentorship 2025. It is going to sell out. I want you to head to the show notes and apply. Fill out an application. You and I are going to get on a call. We are going to make sure that this is a fit. So you're going to get me one on one, privately, helping you deal with your shit, helping you plug the holes in your pleasure tank so that you have enough. So that when you are squeezed, what is coming out is not disgusting. You've got enough in the tank to actually change this, change the dynamic in your relationship for the better. And I hear you. You can't add one more thing to your plate. You're almost resentful. It's like, okay, I'm doing all the things. We've established that my partner, for the most part, is not. Therapy hasn't worked. The quick fixes that I've tried hasn't worked. And if you are in and you just have questions about your specific situation, fill out an application. Let's answer them. It is important to me that this is a fit for both of us. I am so protective of this container of women. Like, this needs to be a fit for both of us. And it is designed for women like you with how much you have. You have 30 plates in the air. If one more thing is added, you feel like you're one step away from a breakdown, divorce, needing medication or needing to adjust your medication. But if you've exhausted your options and you're looking for answers and tools, if this speaks to you, if I'm literally describing you, why wait? What is your plan if you don't do this? You've exhausted your options. Let's do something different. Let's change it up. And I'm going to give you steps. I'm going to give you some of the steps that we will go through just so you have an idea. So, what do we do? What do we do when none of the things have worked? We start to fill our pleasure tank by plugging holes. No good can come of the nervous system dysfunction, our pleasure centers being off. So, how are we plugging the holes? Well, we're learning to communicate our needs. We're learning where our wounds are coming from. We're learning about our conflict, our confrontation. Do we avoid? Do we shut down? How do we properly repair? Like, my clients are talking through things, feeling more seen and supported just by doing this. Their partners aren't doing anything extra because we know they're the underfunctioners. We work on forgiveness. We cannot have ecstasy, pleasure, joy if we haven't forgiven. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive men. We need to forgive our parents. And it creates so much space for pleasure. We work on power dynamics. Like, most superwomen are in the driver's seat and they would like their man to take charge, but we've castrated them and overfunctioned, and it's just like the power dynamics are just off. They're usually backwards. It gets to be fun too. We extended massive orgasm. You get to learn about yourself in a way that you have never had permission to do before. And integrating pleasure, integrating our sexual health and wellness is all part of it. If we don't know what we want, what we desire, how to restore the power dynamics in our relationship, we know that there's not a lot of sex and intimacy happening. And if it is the checkbox sex. It is not the text you the next day, like, oh my God, I can't stop thinking about it kind of sex. So, step one is we start to fill our pleasure tank. We start to plug the holes in our tank so that we are not coming from hypervigilance, fear, cortisol dysregulation, or we can't be a hungry ghost. Okay. And you can listen to my episode about the pleasure tank if you are new here, episode 117. And the second thing is that we need a new way of being. The old scripts do not work for high achievers in relationship today. That's cool that your parents or your aunt or, you're like two friends that got married after high school and they're still happily together with their children. That's cool that that worked for them. But we need a new way. What works for people that don't perform at the level that we perform, that don't have the capacity, that aren't capable of what we are capable of? What works for them is not going to work for us. It's not going to keep us fulfilled, excited, connected, pouring into each other, equal or greater value. Oh, I didn't do a tip today. Okay, my tip is if she puts on lingerie, pull it to the side, leave it on, don't take it off. And okay, and I want to leave you with some reflection questions. Why are you so scared to disappoint your partner? Like, what makes it so hard for you to tolerate your partner's discomfort that you'd rather just do it yourself? And why are you not with somebody that will provide equal or greater value? Okay, so a lot's going to come up, a lot of stories going to come up, a lot of beliefs are going to come up, generally around mother wound. So I'm too much or I'm not enough. Father wound, I'm not safe. Those are the things we need to heal first. We heal those, and then everything around us heals. My clients, it's not only them that's healing, it's themselves, their relationships, their children, their relationships with their parents. So this healing, the true healing, has a ripple effect. So please head to the show notes, apply. I would love to connect with you about the mentorship summer sale and what that looks like for you. 3 spots left. I think I have 2 calls next week. So do not sleep on this. Apply. Would love, love, love to chat. Until next time, super people. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.